Hi everyone, welcome to another video on Python series by Python AI Lab. Today we are going to learn about conditional loops in Python. Before begin, make sure to subscribe to Python AI Lab for latest technology. So let's get started with very first topic, which is loop. So what is loops? Loops are a statement where you can execute your task again and again. It means you can execute the task multiple times until you reach a specific goal or target. That is called a loops. So in Python we have this type of loop. So let me check with the following loops. We have two different types of conditional loops in Python. The very first is for loop and the second is while loop. So in for loop is used to iterate the elements of a sequence, which means that if you want to iterate the element one by one until the last element, then you are make a use of for loop. Suppose we have one of the list, and in that list we have the elements from 1 to 50. So with the help of for loop, you can execute for loop and the loop will start from first number and it is iterate to second, then third, then fourth, then fifth. This type of iteration is happening until it reaches the fifth number. Yeah, so that is the work of for loop. You can repeat the number of tasks, whatever number of time or number you want. Till that you can easily repeat your task. That is called a for loop. That is the work of for loop. The syntax for loop is for, then variable, in, sequence. In the next tutorial where we do examples, where we do a hands-on exercise, then it is easy for you to understand what are the variables, what are the sequence. Okay, so I hope you understood what are the for loops. Let me go with the second loop, which is a while loop. What is happening in a while loop? Before the very first step in while loop, before iterating, before executing the block, they check the condition. If the specific condition is true, then only your block is going to be executed. If the condition is not true, the block is not going to be executed. So this is the two different loops which work. The first one work if you want to repeat n number of time. There is no as of checking of condition at the very first step, which we have in a while loop. And in a while loop, the very first step itself is checking the condition. If the condition is met, then only your loop is going to be created or executed. So let me understand the working of this two loop with the help of flowchart. Okay, for loop. For loop start. As it start, it check it is the last number or not. If it is the last number, if there is a further number present in a list, then it iterate to the next number. So the statement is going to be executing from one number to the next number. At the for loop come to the second number, then again it will check the second is the last item or not. If the second is not the last item, then again they move to the statement, which means it's go to the next number, which is third number. They print the third number. Then again for loop check it is the last number or not. If it is not the last number, then again the 3 is printed and it's go to the statement and it print the next, go to the next number, which is 4. Then again it check the 4 is the last item or not. So this thing is happening until it reaches the 50th number. As it reaches a 50, then it is the last number, then it's come to the end. your loop is going to be terminated. Because 50 is your last number, then it is not a further iteration. The last item is yes, then you are going to be come out of the loop, your loop is going to be terminated. So this is the working of for loop, how it works. And what is happening in a while loop? While loop start, and the very first step is they check the condition. If a condition is true, then your statement is going to be executed. If the condition is not true, you are going to be end with the while loop. Your loop is going to be terminated because condition is not met. So I hope this is the working, or you understand the difference between the two loops, for loop and while loop. So let me go with the next topic, which are the control statements. Control statements are used to manage the flow of programs execution. I hope you all know what are the decision making statements which we have covered in our previous tutorial. So that are also the control statement. We have a different control statement. So decision making also the one of the control statement. The loop which we have saw in this video, that is also the control statement. And beside this two, we have a three different statement which is also the control statement, which is break, pass and continue. This all the statements are used to manage your program's execution, which is based on the specific condition. So let me go with what are these statements. The very first statement is break statement. This statement is used to exit a loop prematurely when a condition is met. Suppose if you are in a loop and you defined some of the condition, if you find that condition, then you have to exit from that loop. You not have to be go until the last one. If you got your answer, if you got your condition, then you can come out of that loop. So for that problem, for that situation, then for that situation you can make a use of this statement, which is a break statement. Suppose we have a list which we have taken example in previous topics. So if I want the number 25, so my loop is executing, and in my program I have defined that if loop comes to the 25, then loop has to be break at that particular point, particular iteration, and the loop has to be exit. So for that purpose, break statement is used. As of I got the value 25, loop is going to be exit and the termination is completed. So for that purpose, we have a break statement. The second statement is continuous statement. What is happen in this statement? Suppose if you want to skip some of the iteration and continue with the next iteration, then we make a use of this statement. Suppose in the previous example, we have a list at the point of 30. We don't want a 30th iteration. After 29, we want a 31. So we define the condition, we specified our requirement that we don't want 30. So with the help of continuous statement, the loop start iterating as it is come to the 30. Continuous statement execute and the 30th iteration is not going to be executed. After 29, 30th iteration is going to be skipped and the 29th move directly to the 31st. So for that type of situation, we need this statements, which is continuous statement. And the last statement is pass statement, which is not much needed, is a null operation. We don't make a use of this statement because it acts as a placeholder which avoid a syntax error. Okay, So I hope all this topic, what are the loop, what are the for loop, while loop, and the other control statements which are break, pass, continue. I hope you understood all this topic. So thank you for learning with Python AI Lab. I hope you understand the concept which is covered in today's video, and stay connected with Python AI Lab as we dive into our practical examples and hands-on exercise in our next tutorial. Thank you.